Hey my lovely YouTubers, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Ari Monae and I make faith-based content for you girls. Today I have a video that I want to do. It was placed on my heart because I feel like not a lot of my followers know this about me. I'm going to be sharing my testimony with you guys. Ooh. Yeah, this is the story of what brought me to God. Also the story of what made me start my ministry page, which is Kingdom Daughters United. So if you guys don't know, I have a ministry. It's called Kingdom Daughters United, and you can follow the Facebook group. I would recommend you joining the Facebook group that is open because I do have two. I made the first one by mistake. It was like, it's a closed group and you can only get in with invite only, and I'm like, well, no one is going to find this if you don't have it open for everyone to see. So we're just going to ignore that one and join the open group. So again, it's Kingdom Daughters United and it's on Facebook. But as I said, this video is going to be about a testimony. So it's going to be a testimony and also the reasoning behind starting the ministry. And they just, both of them actually tie in together. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into this video. Also, bear with me for some odd reason, you guys. Well, not some odd reason. I am sick. I know, I'm so sad. My nose is kind of stuffed. I don't know if you can tell. I can tell obviously because I'm the one like dealing with it, but my nose is very stuffed. Well, it's not very stuffed actually, but it is stuffed. And I keep sneezing. So if my words sound a bit like I just ate a mouthful of peanut butter or something, I don't know. Just bear with me. Your girl is just trying to get this all out of her system, and I'm trying to get it out ASAP. But without further ado, let's jump right into this testimony. I want to say it first started when I was 13 years old, my very first encounter with God. Me and my friend, we were sitting on the porch at my old apartment complex, and I don't know what happened. I don't know how we started talking about God, but we just were. And she started talking about Bible stories, and she said something about Jonah, and I was like, who? And she's like, you don't know Jonah? I was like, no. She was like, okay, well, what about Noah's Ark? I said, no. She's like, David and Goliath? And I'm like, no. She's like, oh my God, we need a Bible right now. So I ran upstairs, and I had got like this little children's Bible story, like it's like my first Bible stories, and we sat there on the porch together and we went through it from the beginning to the end. And right after, like right when we got to the very end of that book, it was like I looked up at the clouds and the sun, and there was a tree in front of us, and I took a moment and I paused and I was like, wait a minute, like everything looked so different. Everything, it was like my perspective on life changed. Like, mind you, I was 13. So like everything just looked so different in my eyes, and it looked really like beautiful, I guess. And as I got older, that same presence has been with me. And so long story short, I can just recognize that that was the presence of God being there, opening my eyes to his world. So that was that part. So then moving along, after I encountered God and wanted to know more about him, I ended up going to church with my friend because, you guys, I used to have nightmares. Like, I used to have really bad nightmares to the point I was afraid to fall asleep. I'm so serious. Like, my nightmares were so scary that I literally had to like tell my mom, like, I'm scared to go to sleep, please sleep in my room. And she would like sleep at the edge of my bed type of thing. Like, I was terrified to go to bed. And so I would tell my friends about it, and I'm like, I can't sleep at night, it's like really scary, my dreams are so scary, I'm scared to dream, I'm scared to sleep, I'm scared to close my eyes. And my friend was like, why don't you come to church with me and my family? So I started going to church with her. And you know, as a new believer, when you experience Jesus for the first time, you become super excited. Your soul is truly set on fire, and you want everyone to experience how you feel. You want everyone to experience that joy and to experience that burn of the Holy Spirit in you. And so that's what I was doing. As a middle schooler, I was telling my friends about God. Everything that I said was about God. And it got to a point where I was deemed as an annoyance. I'm sorry, my nose is stuffed, like I said. But people saw me as an annoying person because I kept talking about God. And they were like, my friends were like, hey, like, it's good that you like Jesus and all, and like, we're really excited for you, but you need to tone it down a lot. My toning it down led to me not talking in faith at all anymore. And oddly enough, that's when everyone started talking to me again. And I guess that also goes into as when you're becoming a new believer in your adulthood, people don't like to see the change in you. They're gonna miss the old you. They're gonna, like, this way, I was not supposed to go this way with this video, but they're gonna miss you smoking weed with them. They're gonna miss you drinking alcohol. They're gonna miss you listening to all that music and like twerking and dancing and all that stuff. They're gonna miss you doing that. They're not gonna like the new you. They're not. So of course, you know, when you become a new believer, you gain some and you lose some. And hey, I mean, which way do you want to go? You want to walk with the devil, or do you want to hold hands with God? And you can't do both. You can't do both. I tried it. That would be another testimony video if you guys want. But yeah, you can't do both. Sorry. As I said, I did not talk much about God in middle school anymore. I didn't talk about God in high school anymore. But there was one encounter, one thing that changed my life around again. I was 16, so it may have been my sophomore year of high school. That's when things started to, you know, hit. Things started to change. We had just lost a member of our family, and just to explain my family, our foundation of the family was started by my great-grandma and all her kids. So my granny, her sisters, and her brothers. And so our family is pretty big. And so slowly as time has gone on, a lot of the siblings have started to go home with the Lord. And so she was the first sibling that had went home with God. And that was the first time I had experienced death like that. And so it just hit me so heavily, and I was so sad. I would literally be in school calling my granny, asking for updates on her sister. May she rest in peace. Also, I went through bullying. I was bullied for anything, and I mean for any reason that you can see. Like, first of all, I am black. I don't know why I'm saying it like that, but I was considered an Oreo. That's what I was trying to say. So I was a black girl, but I was considered an Oreo. So like, they make fun of me because I talked white, but it was like I just had a proper dialogue. I had a proper way of speaking. And back in like early 2010s, back in the 2010s, if you were a black girl and you talked with such vocabulary, you were deemed like, oh, so you want to be white. And it's like, I'm sorry that I don't speak this way, but you guys keep calling me an Oreo. So they called me an Oreo. I got bullied for my weight. And you know what? Back in high school, I wasn't even fat. I say that now because I am like a plus size person now. But we're changing that. I was bullied for like my eyes. I was bullied just to be bullied. Like, I don't know, they just love making fun of me, I guess. And the bullying like happened from the time I got into 6th grade all the way up until my 12th grade year of high school. So bullying was just super heavy. And then I dealt with a lot of self-hate, just from believing all the things about the bullies, and then from, you know, having crushes and being constantly rejected. Like, oh, you're a good person and you're nice and all, but like you're you know, that was the thing. You're nice and all, but I kind of see you as a friend. And so self-hate from that. I felt like I was a disappointment to my mom. Me and my cousin would always argue. I don't know, there were just a lot of things that led to me being a teenager and having depression. And long story short, I had a plan. I was going to end it all in the girls' bathroom my sophomore year of high school. I was just at that point where I was like, things would just be better if I was not living. And my friends, I could not stop crying that day. Like, I wanted to do it. I vividly remember, like, I was going to ask the teacher if I could go to the bathroom, and she was going to say yes. And I was just going to go. I'm not going to tell you. I don't know if I should tell you guys a plan, because I don't want to encourage anyone. I don't want to encourage anyone to do something like that. But that was basically the plan. I was going to go into the bathroom and, you know, take some medicine and take the whole medicine. Midol. Girls on your period, you know how dangerous that is. But that was the plan. You can read in between the lines if you didn't connect what I was saying. And I kept crying because I was too scared to ask the teacher to go to the bathroom. And I just was crying the entire class. And they did not know what was wrong with me. So my friends took me down to the guidance counselor when I told them, like, I'm going to do this. I want to do this. And they were like, let's go to the guidance counselor office. So we went to the guidance counselor's office, and he asked me what was wrong, and I told him what was wrong. He was like, have you ever tried it? I was like, I was about to. And he was like, okay, I'm gonna call your mom. And I cried because I did not want my mom to know that I had that plan in my head. I didn't want her to know that. So she came and got me from school. We went to the therapy. Like, right then and there, we went to therapy. And, well, we kind of also had to go to the hospital to run some, like, tests on me as well. And then I went to therapy, like, right then and there. And the therapist was asking me what was wrong. And I said, you know, I don't like myself. I hate myself. I feel like I'm ugly. I feel like I'm unworthy. I feel like I'm unloved. I feel like I just don't belong here on this earth. I'm only crying because of the goodness of God. Trust me, I'm not crying because I feel this way still. I'm only crying because of the goodness of God. I'll have to share that part. Well, I'll just share it now. Like I said, I had this plan when I was 16, but here I am now, 10 years later, 26, and I'm still alive. And it's all due to God, because it's all due to him and his love. Because, like I said, I felt self-hate, and I felt like I didn't love myself, and I hated myself, and I was bullied every day. I mean, you have to think about it. When you're bullied from the time you are in elementary school until I got into college, I was bullied. Like, you start to believe those things. You start to believe those lies, and so it makes you feel like you're unworthy, and it makes you feel like you're unloved, and it makes you hate yourself so much. But then when you get to know God, and he tells you what you aren't, and then he tells you what you are, it's like, it's a beautiful thing. And so so that's that part. That's why I'm getting emotional about this, and it's not helping the fact that I'm sick. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit more. We did more therapy, but my mom, I guess she got to the point where she could not afford therapy anymore. So she had this grand idea to take me to church. I am so sorry. I had to refresh myself. My mom could not afford therapy anymore, so we decided to go to church. And that's when I started to get to know him and who he called me to be and who he said I was. And then once I found love and God and Jesus, I was no longer suicidal and depressed. So that is pretty much the beautiful testimony that I have on, that's my first testimony. I have many testimonies, don't get me wrong, and I will be sharing them. But so we're gonna fast forward into my early 20s. Like when I say early 20s, I mean like 20, 21-ish years old. That's when I was like, man, I really wish there was like a group on Facebook or like on Instagram where a lot of girls could come together. So in my early 20s, that's when I became more full of God, and I got to know him more. And I was like, at my church, I was the only 20, like young 20 there. Like I was like the only like 19, 19-year-old girl there. No, actually person. yeah, yeah, because there were no guys my age at that church either. That's when I was like, I really wish I had like a sisterhood. I really wish that there were young girls my age and older to like experience God with me. God just spoke to me one day in my room, and he was like, Kingdom Daughter. And I was like, well, yeah, we are Kingdom Daughters. When you like think about it, like, you're God and we're all your children, and you're King of Kings and you're Lord of Lords. So if we're your kids and you're a king, like, that makes us royal, and so that makes us kingdom children. So I want to bring together the girls, and so we're Kingdom Daughters. But I just wanted it to be more than that. I wanted to create a group that was for everyone everywhere. So I was like, Kingdom Daughters United. The whole sole purpose of me starting that ministry was because I didn't want any believer, new or old, to feel alone the way I did. As I said, when I was in middle school, I didn't have anyone to talk to about this. I was like annoying to them because I kept talking about God. And then when I was in high school, I was the only high schooler at my church. And so I felt alone there. And even going into my early days in college, I still felt alone. And so I was like, Kingdom Daughters United, let's start this ministry. And so that's what brought me to start Kingdom Daughters United. That's pretty much all that I have to share with you guys. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Again, follow the ministry on social media. I have a Facebook group for you Kingdom Daughters. It's called Kingdom Daughters United. Again, follow the open group page, but I post like scriptures and like daily word and just cute pictures and preacher videos to encourage you guys, because life is hard and we all need encouragement. So yeah, go ahead and follow that page. Also, if you feel up for it, I will get to the Instagram again soon, but for right now, it's not happening, but it will soon. So go ahead and follow the Instagram as well if you would like to. It is KDU Ministry. And I just want to thank you guys for watching this video. If I can leave a message of encouragement for you guys outside of the testimony, I want you all to know it doesn't matter what your ex-boyfriend has said. It doesn't matter what your mom thinks about you. It doesn't matter what that sister thinks of you, your cousin, the bullies at school. It doesn't matter what those people think about you. All that matters is what God thinks of you. And God says so much beautiful things about you. He wants you to know that you are yet His. You are yet worthy. You mean so much to Him. And I want you to also know just how loved you are. I will be doing a devotional video to follow up with everything that I said so that you can recognize who you are to God. But just know that you are His daughter, which means you're pretty important in the kingdom. It makes you a princess. So wear your crown, sis, because you are a kingdom daughter. And again, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I pray that it blesses you. Thank you. Bye.